Yeah, are you listening on this? Hello? Are you listening on the other medium?
Oh, it's in another room.
Oh.
I'll go and get a seabird.
Okay.
Stand by.
Standing by. Not able to get down there.
No, I went.
Oh, did you get many things?
Oh, I got a few for you.
Oh.
Hammond a Go-Go.
Good,
I
good.
got the original Hammond a Go-Go chord.
Excellent. Oh.
Actually, what time did you get down there?
About 1 o'clock.
Because most of the really good stuff would have gone by then.
I should imagine so,
'Cause
yes.
When I was there, there were only about half a dozen people scavenging.
Right.
But by the time I left, there were quite a few.
What time did you get there?
About 9:30.
Oh, wow. You would have got some good stuff then.
Oh, I got an excellent one. I got Les Black and his orchestra.
Oh, really?
And it is so bad. I don't know
Look, it was all...
where it was recorded.
It's just all bad 60s instrumental hits.
That's right.
There's a few good ones, like the Percolator.
The Percolator. Well,
Oh, go and make of it. Yes, it's a...
I didn't see that one.
It's hilarious, isn't it? But at least you can play sort of breakdance music with chords these days.
Yes. Some of the ones I thought would be really good just were just awful.
Yeah.
And some of them I got because they had written all over them, super high fidelity and all that sort of thing.
Oh, yes.
Some of those old Mercury chords and stuff.
Look.
And you bring them home and listen to them, and they're just house.
They're-
They're awful.
There were some hilarious ones. We sort of, unfortunately, on a job, so I only could spend about 15 minutes there. But the bloke I was with got one that had hi-fi dance time. And the front cover is these people in 60s clothes smoking cigarettes, sitting in front of a 60s radiogram
Yeah.
with this 60s lampshade and the whole lot. Just hilarious.
It's just, most of it was just complete bilge. And
That's right.
I've never seen so many Hammond a Go-Go records in my life. Hammond Pops, volumes 1 to 500.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
Oh, dear.
so,
If I want to start up a lift music company, I should be able to do it.
that's what it is. You know what, one of them, did you recognise anyone who was there?
No, I didn't actually.
Well, when I was there this morning, I don't know who it was, but someone said, oh, I don't know why they're throwing all these out. There's such good things on these. And everyone sort of goes, and he said, it's real low. Will you mark my words and you watch the tide will turn, and if the station started playing this sort of music, it would do very well indeed. And there must have been someone from 3 Low there, and they just said, yes, well, I don't know about that. I think that's why they're throwing them out.
It would have been good on 3DB back in 1950.
Oh, this guy thought, he kept saying, look at this, and he'd drag out some obscure chord and say, this is excellent. Oh, someone should be playing this.
Yes, I
And
can
said,
well
"Well, look at
imagine.
them." Sounds like the lift doors have just opened up.
Yes. But a lot of it was total bilge. However, some of it, I do wonder why it was, unless they've got different, more copies of it or something like that.
Well, there was one LP that had 3 copies.
Yes.
And, they must just get duplicates of things
Mm.
and chuck out. But yeah, there was, actually I got one of, I think it was Tommy Rowe's greatest hits.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if they haven't got these anywhere else, it's pretty stupid throwing it out.
Well,
There's about 5 top 10 hits on it. Oh, God.
yeah. Well, because the thing is that, for the storage space, just lock them away in a room and have them on a computer printout. And even if they get used once every 10 years, it's sort of, because once they're gone, they're gone.
Well, I got Themes for Young Lovers Volume 2.
Oh, yes, yes.
So that's good.
Yes, that's not the volume 1, of course, was sought
That's
after
the
one.
famous one, yeah, but I couldn't find the Volume 1.
I've got a nice one here from Klebanoff and his strings. It makes me, they could be, have to use them for tests, of course.
Yes.
Beatles songbook, of course. Frankie and Tasha. A summer place, the Ray McVeigh Orchestra, never heard of it. a lot of Paul Moriarty stuff, which is quite good.
Did you get the greatest hits one?
I've already got that actually,
Have you? Yeah, I
but
already
this
had it
is
too, but it was there.
there's another one here which is good. It's got quite a lot of good ones. I Know a Place and all that sort of bilge. Bert Camford now. Oh, and I mainly went to find Floyd Kramer, and I only found one Floyd Kramer chord.
Did you? I got one.
Oh, which one was yours?
But it's him playing the organ,
Ah,
so it's not the piano.
that's no good.
But the Les Black one is excellent.
Good.
Les Black was a band leader in Sydney, and it sounds like they were recorded in a bathroom. They're very fine, beautiful quality, and the chord looks like it's been played once in its life.
Exactly. Yes.
But the acoustics leave a lot to be desired. When I looked through the selection, I thought, you'll love it.
Yes.
I was hoping you would have got there.
Mm.
The Hammer to Go-Go, because that was banned.
Was it?
Remember when we kept trying to play it on 3CR,
Oh.
and the Long and the Mangan took it off me, and they hid it somewhere. They broke it and threw it down the back of some equipment, so I couldn't play it anymore.
What, did it have too high a rotation?
Well, I kept on playing one particular stupid music, so they broke it. But now we've got it again. So I've got 2 copies, so there's one for you. So.
Excellent. Look, it's an amazing thing. It's a very good that they actually do it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Because so there's people who are interested in weird music that would have just revelled in that
Yeah, and all they were going to do is throw them away.
into the master.
I don't know why were they in boxes with Australian Archives written on them?
I don't know. Maybe they were going to send them there and they didn't want them.
Probably. They probably looked at them and went, send them back.
Yeah.
But, lots of typewriters in that place too. And chairs, room dividers,
Oh yes, yes.
equipment side.
No, I did have a look around to see if there are some equipments there.
Blue on blue.
It's-
Oh no, it's not. That's da 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 da. What's it called? Can't
Stop. Get used to losing you.
losing you. Sound good through the autophone though, does it?
They do. The interesting thing is that for old chords, they're in excellent condition. The thing is, they've never been played on a Ronette, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's the good thing about them. Although, see, there were some boxes down the end that I started looking through because no one else was looking. And after I've been looking through those for 15 minutes, someone came up and said, "Oh, they're the damaged ones." Thank you so much.
But there might only be just one scratch or something.
Yeah, although one of them had a few good tracks in it, and I came home and there's a piece like a dog.
The Evans must have got in a bad mood one night.
Give it a smash.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, 3MP should have been there to buy them.
Oh,
to
wow,
get them
yeah.
all, you know.
Well, they still play this sort of stuff on Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, that's right, they do too.
Do you remember this one?
Oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah, now what was that used in?
It was a close down of a certain missions about 15 years ago.
The Kenworthy program. No?
No, something else. But no doubt.
Oh, yeah. That was used as the Kenworthy.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it might have been too, yeah.
Was it used as red tenors? No.
Well.
Close down of... Because they're all rip-off versions.
That's right.
Of them. Who cares?
They often sound better.
I got the 78 of the country session breakfast theme.
They had 78s there too, did they?
Just a few.
Ah,
But
that goes.
I don't know how it goes. I can't even think how it would go.
Now, how long did you spend there?
Oh, about an hour.
Gee, I would have loved to have spent. I could have spent half a day there, I think. Because you just go through quickly and you just grab a few things you think might be worthwhile.
Interesting, yeah. I got a lot of Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
that's very
for
good.
some reason, people didn't seem to want those.
No.
They grabbed obscure things
Yeah, it's mainly, I thought, people who had obscure interests and things.
Yeah.
But I quite like that 60s, well, this sort of, 60s instrumental stuff. I suppose I
Yeah.
was sort of, brought up on it, and it seemed to be... but you'd think that they would keep it... no, there was a lot of absolute rubbish, but as you say, there were things there that could have been, kept in the playlist, or, at least in the library for some reason.
Yeah, I assume they will keep some of it. They must have some of it.
They could have
elsewhere.
copies. And some of it, of course, I suppose, is released on CD,
Yeah,
but a lot of it wouldn't be and never will be.
that's right.
And there's so many groups and orchestras you've never heard of.
Or you can remember from when 3OK used to play them.
That's right, yes. But a lot of it, there's a lot of bilge, but there's some, I've only got 20 chords, but there's a couple of really good ones in there
Mm.
that I'm quite pleased about.
What a laugh.
So it was,
Oh, dear.
it is just like, sort of a trip into the past. And the covers are such a laugh too.
Well, a couple of covers I grabbed. There was Bobby Lim's Sound of Music 10th anniversary. Thought it'd be a joke to have the cover more than anything else. And what else? Oh, the Brady Bunch kids sing the hits.
It's good that you got there so early.
Yes. Well, I mean, I could have stayed longer, but I was getting a bit sick of it. There seemed to be a lot of people around, sort of fighting over the boxes, and there are a few people that would sort of have one box on top of a pile
Oh, yeah.
and take forever to look through it. I mean, I was just sort of flicking through them at a great rate, not.
Yeah. It's the only way to do it, really.
Yeah. Well, after a while, you sort of,
Yes, that's all very good indeed.
Yes.
So they must have a million chords in the library,
Yeah.
or maybe they don't have many at all now. Maybe it's the new policy.
Get rid of them all.
Just have the playlist. There's something I was going to say, but I seem to have forgotten. But anyway.
So that John Reed can play them.
Oh, yes.
Have you heard something's happened to the Williams? I think his brain's popped. No. He's been playing nothing but old 78s.
Really?
Yeah. It's just continuous telephone crackle quality.
Wow.
And the cricket, there was an interruption to the play because of rain yesterday.
Yeah.
And they were bilging on for about 10 minutes about nothing. And then they said, we'll go back to the studio now. And the Williams comes on, plays the most obscure music. I mean, it's a time when there's probably a lot of people listening that wouldn't normally listen.
That's right.
A time when they should start just playing, top 40 bills. But no, get this obscure 78 out and play it.
I must admit, I have been, in the car listening sometimes, and during the break, he just makes obscure nonsense comments about things that
Yeah. I think he might have
popped.
popped.
Well, he used to be Big Nullity, of course, once.
That's right.
It happens to everybody.
Sitting on the wall at Rip and Lee,
Yes.
announcing songs. Zoom in and out in the VU meter
Yes.
and the oscilloscope. You see the pickup playing the chord for minutes on end.
The Williams. Yes, because a lot of these nostalgia programs, basically they're all based on people's private collections, because none of the stations have them anymore.
That's right, yeah.
And we know where certain Wet Rag, of course, got his from...
VKKZ.
yes, that's right.
Yes.
In fact, it looks very official now. I've got all these things here. They've got Property of ABC and VDD 2816.
Yeah, you'd think they would have had an official stamp. They just
Yes.
seem to have a... There was one chord I've got there and it's got written on it, 1 week loan only. Sort of like it's going to be a big thing. It's got a date sheet on it.
Yeah.
And it's completely blank. No one's ever borrowed it.
Well, this one here, the Hot Butter one, Moog Hits, was last borrowed 3rd of the 1st, 85.
Well, that's interesting.
So some of them have been borrowed up, a few years ago. You'd think they would have just thrown out the ones that have never been borrowed.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I saw that one. Actually, I might even have a copy. I'm not sure.
You have got another Moog chord, I think,
Chord.
that was given airplay many years ago. Quite a bit of
Oh, yes, that's right.
one golden hour of hits or something.
That's right, Golden Arrow.
I think I made recordings of it and I've never listened to it. But it gets very tedious after a
I
while.
put it on. I seem to remember 6 months ago I found it and thought, let's have a listen to this. And as soon as I put it on, I thought, God.
Because the thing is, a lot of particularly the Polydor and that style of record, the quality is exceptionally good.
Very far,
Yeah, it's just, apart from the hiss, that they sound as good as CDs, really.
Mm.
And a bit of rumble from the tables here, the old magnetronic table or whatever it is. But
I found a lot of them were in mono though.
that's probably why they got rid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I've only got a mono desk here, so it doesn't matter too much.
and some of them look like the covers have had water damage.
What it is,
Like the State Library.
you know, they had specially brown paper covers they used to put them in
No, it's,
with the all the titling and cataloguing on the side, and it used to seep through into the record cover.
Right.
So that's all that is. In fact, I was hoping they'd
still be in the original thing.
yes, but unfortunately they must have kept them.
Yeah, they probably reused them. Or
They
just
wanted the
them on.
boxes back. People were walking out with the boxes now, having
Really?
a spew.
Yeah.
The boxes were more important than the chords.
Yeah.
So it was really quite a fun time, wasn't it?
Actually, I thought all analysis might be that he might
Mm.
be Adam saying, "Oh, this is a chord. I'll play this Jimmy Cookie with us program this afternoon."
You take it off. It's never been, and so she can play it because it's never been able to be, available to her from the library or something. But the interesting thing is, some of these chords I'm sure I've listened to on the Seavers, because in the late 60s there was a program on at lunchtime called The Bright Side, and they used to play all this instrumental in Raymond Lefebvre and all this build. And I used to come home for lunchtime and put on the old Pyrox, and I've got recordings of it here, on muffled Pyrox recordings. And now I actually own the official chords that would have been played. You can see they were borrowed in 1968 and 1969, and so it is really quite hilarious.
Oh well.
There must have been thousands there.
Yeah. At first, when I looked, I thought, there's only that many boxes. But I
Mm,
suppose when you think of how many chords there are,
yeah, about 30 per box or something.
mm,
And
fair few.
but there's a lot of really bilge things like Swedish sacred music, and
Oh, I know. Yeah. Nobody'd want those.
they must just get the companies must just send them a few copies of each
Yeah,
chord.
I think they would. See, something like the ABC, they'd think it was worthwhile because they have obscure type
Mm,
programs to put them in.
that's right.
And also they would know that at the ABC they'd actually put what proper library in that sort of thing.
Yeah, not
Whereas
just.
in the Mershall station they just get stolen.
That's right.
Or else that one's not on our playlist,
Mm.
so it never gets put away.
Yes, like I found a copy of Oxygen was in the rubbish bin at a certain place I was working at.
Really?
It came in. He just instantly put it in the rubbish bin.
What?
And I picked it out and thought, oh, that could be interesting. And of course, it was it shows how much he knew about music.
Oh. You must have listened to about 2 seconds of it and thought,
Yes, it didn't sound like 2SM.
that's right.
I don't know what they sound like now, but
I
probably.
actually listened to them a few weeks ago.
Mm,
They still got that American sounding guy on.
really? Mm,
So.
yeah.
And Harry Wild. Do you remember Harry Wild?
Yes,
On
yes,
3SR?
yes.
Well, he was still doing the breakfast program,
Mm,
but about a week ago on a Sunday night, I heard him on 3AK.
really? Yes, I think I've heard him too.
So he must have moved.
There's quite a few voices around that sound quite familiar,
Yeah.
and names that quite have been around a little bit, shall we say? But then again, they all have.
Well, see, the stations, once upon a time, if you got a job in the big city,
Mm,
you'd stay at it. But these days, because stations keep changing formats and they keep getting more and more announcers through,
yeah,
it just doesn't seem to work that way anymore.
that's right. You don't stay there for 50 years like people at the with the Flinders Lane place,
They haven't moved yet.
haven't they? They're still there.
It's still coming from there.
Ah.
And apparently people have been ringing up and telling them how much better they sound now that they've moved to their new studio. It just goes to show you can tell people anything and
Oh.
they'll believe it.
For sure. Yeah,
If you can tell from most people's CVs anyway.
they're probably still emitting from the old tenors.
Yes,
Most people think that's where they emit from.
from the building, top of the building.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Be interesting to know what happens to that emitters. I know that's one of the old big ones, isn't it? That's the KZ one you'd want to get hold of.
yeah. It's one of the ones like the Wix thing.
Mm.
The double cabinet,
Ah,
huge thing with rubber, cotton-covered wire.
straight.
There's nothing in them. There's just nothing. I mean, they're so simple.
It's just a room.
Just a huge box. It weighs 50 tons with lino on the floor of it.
Oh,
So it's just like a little room. It's just got, giant formers in it and a few big valves.
The Nishins would walk in and do big missions. Yeah.
Apparently they used to lock, in the 3DB one, they used to lock the junior Nishins inside it and turn it on. A bit of a worry, I don't think I'd like to be in there when it was on.
No, it could do bad things to you, apart from getting cuted.
Well, you get cuted and the thing might off. I mean, I'd be worried it'd blow up or something.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, they're only 500 watt thing, but still.
Yeah. It's,
But yes, the KZ one, I mean, those ones are about 1934 vintage.
Oh, they're so
The KZ
modern.
one, I think was, 38 vintage.
truth.
So it's a bit more recent.
Yeah. It's amazing how that they're still actually in use almost.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I suppose, there's nothing, as I say, there's nothing to them.
The valves are just burnt out.
Yeah, just replace the valves every now
They
and
must do a lot, because that KZ one was on most of the time. The filaments were on, weren't they?
yeah, the filaments are always on.
It's truth. I think they just burn out
Yeah.
over those years. But I guess if you want it on to come on, it has to come on instantly.
Probably fine if it was all cold and turned off.
Yeah.
The power would go onto it. There's capacitors inside.
Go bang.
Bang.
That's right.
10 years. That's the end of it.
I was looking up the logbook here, and 1988, there's been 208 hours of missions.
Oh,
That's over 8 days.
yes. 8 days of missions.
Isn't that incredible? No wonder I've gone through most of the library so far this
Yeah,
year.
that's right.
It's a lot of missions just to be babbling out. That was there for many years, and then it went for a dim and a bright. John Brighton had
John
to.
Bright on the
He would have liked some of these.
broadcasting service.
Yes, so that's a lot of big hour days of missions, isn't it? I mean,
It is actually.
imagine if you had to listen to it all in one go. So
It'd just be on automatic.
that's right. So certainly, if you with all those chords available, one could certainly do quite a lot of missions, I should imagine.
Now, do you need a new audio desk? Because some Shure desks are getting the flick at work.
Well, I mean, we're always in the
In the market?
to upgrade the station.
Well, yeah, they've been used in booze.
Ah, yes. You'd be interested in one yourself, no doubt.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about it. They've replaced them with these Sony things that don't have VU meters, so you can't break them.
Well, they just got LEDs.
Yeah.
What sort of facilities do they have?
I'm not really sure. I never took much notice of them, actually. I think they've got equalisers on every channel and things
gee.
like that. So they're fairly...
And are they going for sale or tender or something?
well, I don't know. I haven't asked. But I sort of mentioned it to someone. They said, oh, yeah, I'm sure they're being sold. But they're only mono, of course.
Yeah.
So there probably wouldn't be that many people interested in them.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I don't know.
Well, if you hear any more, let us know.
Was
And
a phone call?
yes, give us a tings and we'll find out what's going on.
Of course, certain other items of equipment will shortly be swung into full action. They're all there.
Ah, yes.
I went upstairs and there's this whole room
Full of the
full of those
bookies.
big grey boxes, and you think, ooh, wouldn't mind carrying one of those out the door. Be most painting
Yeah.
because they're not just the normal; they're the SP ones.
That's right, the SP bookie. Bookmakers.
So
The quality should be so much better. Probably won't make much difference.
no, still get dubbed 50,000 times.
It'll just be a smear.
They're trying to wreck one of the BVUs at the moment. They've put an electric heater in there, and they try and keep its motor revving all the time.
What for?
Because apparently it's wrecked,
Oh, yes.
and they won't replace it because it's, there's no point in replacing them at this point.
Right. So you were big, you had at least they always get the facts right, which is one good thing.
Well, that's right. I read that and thought, yeah.
They would have just taken those graphs off the visions.
I know. Well, it was the previous night
Oh.
because I recognised the map. So, a laugh. Oh, laugh. Oh, dear.
So I think some of these people don't really know what's going on.
No. Well, the Ma wouldn't have liked that either.
No, that's right.
No publicity for it.
That's because he likes the old publicity.
I looked at the Xmas tape today.
Which one?
The one from,
Aunties.
yeah,
Ah, yes.
the best part of it at the start, where they're revving along down the street and everything.
Ah, yes. I found them all a bit of a W this year, really.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They've lost all their spontaneity. Well, they're not what they used to be. It's just somebody's idea of having a big you know, someone who doesn't normally do that sort of job gets a chance to be big superstar and
That's
nullity.
right. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Because I mean, I watched it, and that's exactly what they are. Everyone who normally doesn't appear,
Yeah,
suddenly gets to be a nullity for, you know, on the screen.
for 2 seconds. Mm.
So yes, you seem to have avoided getting on that somehow.
Well, I'm not really in that's the social scene, you know.
Oh, I see. They also had quite a bit of stuff from a certain person's farewell from last year.
Ah, yes.
And I thought that was a bit pointless because he hasn't been there for
That's right,
12
yes.
months.
And
Why would they bother?
couldn't care less. Oh, I don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
Some people must feel they have loyalties or something. I don't know. It seems all very strange.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, they're not really worth watching. I don't think half the time. I mean, people go goggle over them for a few days over Christmas, but it's just a lot of bilge. You just have to collect the things that happen
you
anyhow.
want the
normally.
real thing.
Mm.
Actually, the one with the glass smashings on that tape.
That's right.
I
Yes.
wonder how it got there.
Yeah. Well, I just took it off the copy that they had in the thing, waiting for. There's a whole pile of tapes there
Oh, yeah.
with all those things on it that they just.
Ah.
But of course, you know, certain W people get hold of it, and that they don't really put on the really good things.
Well,
And
the thing is, I mean, it's the same at the other missions. I know somebody there who actually collects genuine on-air
really,
things,
mm,
and they're hilarious.
they would
But
be.
They don't find their way onto that
Yeah.
unless, you know, it's somebody that they think's worthwhile having on it.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
he sort of guards his tape very carefully. He won't make copies for anyone or anything.
Why not?
I think he likes to think he's got the right collection.
Mm.
But it's very good. He actually goes to the trouble of usually anyway, of getting the off-air tape and doing dubs. So you get the genuine bad missions, which is exactly what you want, of course. And because there's all those pictures of Mr. D doing his moustache and doing his eyebrows and
Mr. D.
carrying on like as he records. I didn't realise they were recorded. The breaks.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes, they're recorded. That's a pity because you can't do.
So yeah, so there was plenty of him sort of hamming it up,
Mm.
and I guess that's meant to be hilarious.
Oh, it would be very hilarious.
Wasn't particularly.
Yeah. Yes, I've never made it into one of those, which is quite good, really.
Mm.
There's some people, of course, want to go into them, and you know, their pseudo mess ups and things. They try and.
Deliberately do things
Yes.
to get on them. Yeah.
It's good that we had a good time at the collection. How many Gary Ords did you, in fact, end up getting?
Probably got about 40.
Struth.
But some people walked out. I saw one bloke walk out with about, he must have had about 100, sort of staggering out the door.
It was hilarious.
And people would come in and say, oh, how much are they?
Mm.
And then they'd be told after, you know, they've been searching for 10 minutes, and then they say to somebody, how much are these records? Oh, they're free. Free? And all of a sudden...
Everything, they grab everything.
Having one or two, 5 minutes later they got about 50.
It's amazing. They seem to just want to get rid of them as quick as possible.
Well, that was the best way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, even if they charge 50 cents, people just wouldn't grab something just for the cover or
No, that's right.
just for one song or something. But the joke is, like, you know, stealing these chords would have been a, you know, committable offence. And people just walking out into N Street with all these chords, dropping chords down the street. And
And any ones you didn't like, you threw on the rubbish bin on the way out.
That's right. I wonder how many are going to be frisbeed around the inner suburbs.
Oh, quite a few. Because the other thing you could do with them is sell them to an op shop or something.
I'm sure you could do quite a bit of that. In fact, I was surprised that sort of there was. I suppose a lot of them will make their way to them. In fact, at op shops you do find a lot of ones with timings and date stamps on them, and
Yeah, that's right.
makes you wonder where they come from.
Property of, and it's all scratched out. Property of Norman Bank.
Yeah, because it's very important. I mean, a lot of nullities do have their own collection,
Well, that's right.
and if you ever got back on the missions again, you could.
We'll be able to play Al Kayola and his 5,000 guitars non-stop.
Non-stop, continuously.
Could give them to the Biscuit Man. He could play them tonight.
He would love
On
them.
the wood line.
The wood line. But they didn't have any wood line machines on the.
In those days.
Yes, or you know, for sale
yeah,
or give away.
Getting rid of.
Mm.
Well, I thought they might have had one after it went off over the weekend.
I mean, Mr. Camford's not bad, but there's one here it's just screaming.
Screeching treble.
I mean, I like
Bass,
treble,
probably.
but I've got to turn it down, you know, just if you...
Dear.
and you look at that million chords and they're just thrown out, and you know, some engineer slaved for weeks to produce it.
All these artists too, they're probably you know, doing nothing
Mm.
these days, or they're, you know, collecting garbage or something.
Yeah. You can imagine, like Floyd Kramer, there's all the albums have his photograph on them,
That's right.
and he probably just don't know what he does now, probably works in...
A juddering G sitting somewhere.
Mm. Yeah, so it was most interesting. I suppose they're all gone by now. Well, there'd still be some junk there, I guess.
Oh, the
But
big, yeah, like the Swedish religious songs.
I guess they'll all be put into the master. Or frisbeed, or... Pity you can't re-record over them or something like that.
Yes. I sort of went along and I thought, do I really want more chords?
Yeah.
Because I've got all this junk around here.
Mm.
And the Fish got a CD player, and they also listen to sets.
Oh,
So
yes.
they don't need chords anymore. And they gave me all their junk chords, so I've got all these Max Bygraves.
Oh, yes.
Absolute crud. And I didn't really want them, but I don't want to throw them out because you'll offend the Fish.
Yeah.
I thought, do I really want more of that?
Mm.
But that was a bit different.
Well, it is... You know, there's something about the chord because it's the original thing, and you got the cover and...
Yeah.
And some of these, you can imagine what nullities have actually pulled them out of the
That's
slot.
right.
Probably
The Mars bar.
the Mars bar.
The wrong speed and said, oh, very quick version there of...
You'd say, a couple of years ago, the Beatles first exploded on the teen scene. Well, that's what they say anyway. Reminds me of the Mars bar when he had to do, you know, pop music programs and things.
He couldn't do it. Didn't like pop music. This jazz.
There's all this jazz. Oh, Murray, I don't like the jazz. Oh, it's this jazz stuff.
God.
I was hoping I'd find some of the Marshall, you know, brass band music that the Evans used to play in the morning.
Yeah, there wasn't any of that.
No, maybe they've kept it for a...
Official occasions.
Yes, because they don't need to do that anymore. They don't need to test.
It would sound... Actually, that would probably sound quite good through that mod,
Mm,
because it'll be compressed to the absolute house.
yes.
Sound quite, quite spectacular.
It would, wouldn't it?
I've got some of those on chord, and on a CD actually.
Mm.
There was a, who was it? Oh, it was a Mercury re-release from about 1962. It's actually got quite good dynamic range on it.
Mm.
Not sort of incredible fi, but
Yeah.
it's sort of all Sousa marches, a million of them.
Because when the EU used to play them, you do, you know, super compounder, and you'd look at off air on the other VU meter, and just sort of make sure you had super dynamic range, and you'd sort of look up and go, "Oh, does everything go right now?"
So you'd only be listening off the panel.
That's
You
right.
weren't listening.
Yes, he was too. Well, I remember, you know, once when you used to do that to a certain pop, and you can imagine.
As you can imagine, the program manager sitting at home.
Yes.
What the hell's going on? Expando dynamic range. Because in the days when the presses were very simple, it was very easy to make them ring.
You can do that, yeah.
Nowadays, unfortunately, you can sort of feed huge variations in level in it. It doesn't seem to have quite the same effect. But
Yes. Well, buying all these chords took me back, and I was thinking about all the different limbs I've, you know, had work with, like the
Yeah.
big ones, and the, of course, the Audimax, and the AWA constant volume and limiting amplifier,
God.
which has just sort of made everything go thud, and
They're useless.
this sort of big booby knobs and things.
And in fact, half the time, because of the way those limbs work, if you compare the input to the output, the output is sometimes lower in level than the input, because a big thump comes along, pushes all the gain away, and so the average program level drops, and you don't hear anything for a while. It takes about 10 seconds to recover.
That's
then,
right.
By which time another thump's come along to push it back down again. So, sort of like negative...
Negative gearing. Yeah.
hopeless.
Yeah, some of the limbs are quite bad, aren't they? I suppose not many people use those simple limbs these days.
I remember one day I took in a tape, I'd processed a particular chord to the house here, and put it on the roller and made a tape of it, took it into work and played it before the news.
Yeah.
And it was just unbelievable. It was just continuous. The little TFT meter was just sitting on 80 to 90% the whole time, at this super low level, and I hadn't realised my turntable had any rumble in it at all.
Yes, and just would have all burbled out.
I thought, I hope the P-Face isn't listening to this.
Yes.
Wondering what the hell was going on.
That's right. And when I took in a certain half-made limbs,
No,
had clip leads in the back, and it sounded super. Just you could hear the balls going click and things like that, and little birds chirping, and in the middle here, hum, the clip lead would fall out, so you go and fumble it in.
You just bong from that.
That's right.
No.
And they would have taken a dim view on that, but of course now they couldn't care, I suppose. Because it wasn't a particular. It used to overshoot quite a bit.
It didn't really put hum. You didn't get earth hum.
Oh, there's a bit of hum there. The earth lead flipped off or something.
Oh no.
And the room went. The thing went. Bzzz, hello, and they.
Yes. Vendor of pink tape here.
Look, I was trying to find. I've got a set because I set him up once and corded him off the phone, off the carbon phone. And,
Trying to sell you things.
now the interesting thing is, I heard that particular gentleman on a 2-meter channel,
Oh really?
and he's doing sales on that.
Oh,
People are coming up and asking him what they think of certain equipment should be worth. Well, I was going to sell it for $280. Oh no, look, that's worth at least $400.
that's terrible.
He was also knocking a certain cast, because he doesn't get it.
That's why he's not allowed on
Yes.
or something.
Interesting.
Is he still working in the room or not?
I assume so. Yes,
Dallas would know.
yes, he would probably could be listening, Mr. James. Mm.
Yes. No, what was I going to say? The cricket. Yeah, that's right. The only time I was playing with presses and did bad things at work was at MP.
Yeah.
When I fed the off-air line back into the mitters.
Yeah.
Instead of quickly unpatched it.
Used to put the Max on test so you could have superdynamic range.
Oh, yeah.
And one morning I got up and turned on, and the Bailey face was on. It was just distorting to the house out of the sievers. The next chord, one chord would be soft, another one would be loud. So I hop on the MB and zoom down, and just walk in and switch the thing back on, and no one seemed to care too much. But,
Did he say anything about it sounding a bit strange, or?
no, I think he used to listen off the panel anyhow, because it used to sound. He used to sound better through it or something.
Right.
So I still wouldn't mind a Max. They're quite. You could do quite a lot with them. You had 20 dB of complete range of.
Yeah.
With the.
And they'd always go back to the middle and set it so that at the lowest possible normal level.
That's right.
It'll go on,
Mm.
and that way you might actually get rid of some hiss or something.
Yeah.
Hear at a gate when the branch goes out to make coffee during the crossband. Except that there's all hum comes up.
He had very noisy missions.
Oh, it's terrible. That fan, vibing fan.
Yeah. Some of the latter missions, when he had the denser craphones, and he actually had a bit better quality, he used to chord on the Kai instead of that cock chords thing or whatever it was. The phi is overwhelming.
Is it really?
Oh yes.
Oh.
But
But didn't he put? I think he said something about he had 18 dB of bass boost in it or something.
yes, he did. In fact, some of it, like most of his tapes, are distorted in house. But I've got a couple here that are very good limbs tests. Of course, the phi is just. I think he might have actually chorded straight into the chorders actually. Because we used to always chord off the limbs, which was a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
No.
Because if equipment changes,
That's right.
and there's not much you can do about it once it's already pressed.
No, that's right.
But,
I've tried to put some of those old limb tapes through,
direct.
yeah, or through an expansion thing,
yeah.
but it doesn't seem to work too well.
No.
Sort of play it through the high com or something like that.
The
It sounds
high
twice as bad. God, they were
You
bad.
get that.
Yeah, you get that on all of those DBX and Dolby C as well. If one of the machines has a dirty head or is out of alignment, it just sounds all juddery like a hi-com. It's quite a common fault. Because what would normally just cause a bit of muffled missions, it just doesn't track and hear that sort of...
That's pretty bad.
It is. In fact, those systems, they leave a bit to be desired.
Yeah, because there's no reference getting them up.
Mm.
But unfortunately, of course, you can't really do that because people want instant.
Well, those hi-coms, you meant to record tones on your tape and set up the...
Calibrate them.
I mean, the normal person isn't going to do that.
No. Well, you could actually buy a lot of, in the late 70s and early 80s, a lot of German, Grundig and that sort of thing, cassette decks,
Yeah.
actually had hi-com built in.
Really?
No calibrations or anything, but they actually used the hi-com system.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Germans thought that they'd take over the world from Dolby and
Yes.
have hi-com. Didn't work at all.
Well, I've done exhaustive tests here,
And
and
it's house, no?
hi-com is the most house. Dolby is an awful lot better.
Oh, really?
Not Dolby, DBX is an awful lot better. But Dolby C, I'm talking about sort of very effective noise reduction things. I mean, good old Dolby B, or whatever the standard one is, has very little effect on reducing the quality, and quite an effect on, doesn't get rid of everything, but gets rid of most of the hiss. But DBX and Dolby C do have that judder effect if you're not, if you don't have, if you have a head off alignment or something like that.
Yeah.
But the hi-com is just, it's the worst. It's just totally bad. It's just all I use mine for. It's a very good VU meter.
They are. You just have them on pass.
That's
You
right.
use it as a level meter
Mm.
and an amplifier. It's
Yeah.
never mind.
But I suppose it's sort of we're used to the digital sound.
Well, the thing is that anything that uses expansion as well as compression is never going to be quite right.
Yeah, like satellite.
Oh, God. Ah,
Well, you can take that along. You can say you have a grading.
well, that's right, yeah. Well, I'm sure there's people there who've got no idea
Mm.
what I am. But anyway,
We wonder who you are.
at least it said nice things.
That's right. Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Mm.
So they're all Mr.
Thanks, Mary. Hi, everybody.
Mm. Yeah, it's a bit of a joke, isn't it? The whole.
With the, there's a low pressure here. This enormous hand just goes
Yes.
splat on the glass.
Yeah.
I mean, over here. No, especially with all that pressure that's from the
The Yuri.
the
The Yuri Geller bending a spoon.
Universal Audio.
They can sound quite good, those Yuris.
They must have it on a fairly quick release time
Mm.
because you hear a lot of sort of breathing and you hear gurgling noises.
Yes.
And when he stops to have a swallow, you hear this.
Oh. Now, all seem to have that effect. They all, you hear them like they must be concentrating so much in between pauses about the ISO bars.
Well, it's hard to try and talk for 2 minutes non-stop without doing it.
Yes, I can imagine.
Impossible. You're just dying for a breath. Break.
Yes.
And because you're on the whole time, you can't sort of
Yeah.
look down at a bit of paper.
Yeah.
Because see, that's how you normally get away with it.
Yeah.
You can look down at a bit of paper or something like that. But
Yes, because I think the Mr. Extendo is worse than most. It would appear to be harder than just reading the main bulletin.
well, it is actually, because you've actually got to sort of
Animate.
move around and otherwise it just looks boring. You just stand there.
Oh, oh, oh.
Well, there's a new one coming up soon, so we'll be able to.
Rubbish him. Yeah, they should. You should all have a party and get together and.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know the Mr. A,
Mm.
but I don't know the others. I've never met them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. I often thought that we should all go out to lunch together one day just for a laugh. We
It could be a big event.
compare notes,
Mm.
invite along all the rags and get them to take photos, the Neville rags. Oh, there goes a street sweeper. Hear that noise?
Yes, I can hear that.
Hear that? Oh, it stopped right outside the door. It stopped! The fuel light's on, it's flashing. Why has it stopped? Go away.
I can
It's
even.
gone. I waved it on and it went.
Well, at least you have a clean street.
Away. I wonder why it stopped. Because in one of those you can probably look over the fence.
That's right. Yes, probably finding out what's in there. how many tenors you've got. I suppose the Tynes has built your big tenors now.
Yeah. Well, you can't really see it from the street. You have to know where you're looking.
Mm.
That was quite a worry then, because they could probably see in because I got the light on. But
Yeah.
I can't see out. All I could see was this yellow revolving light.
So what have they seen in there? Just you talking?
Yeah. Probably
Oh.
wondering what the hell's going on.
Maybe they're listening.
They might be on their street sweeper sievers.
Have to be a very loud sievers.
It'd be an Ebeling sievers made by the Ebeling company.
Mm.
It'd probably have the knobs on the wrong side. You know
Yes,
how it
that's
is
right. Caution, left-hand drive.
left-hand drive. Now, speaking of the Tynes saw the knock
Oh, really?
in electronics yesterday.
Gee, and how's the knock going?
Oh, quite well. I don't know whether he's...
Because I haven't seen him. I thought it was something to do with the offensive.
Huh? Somebody might have given things.
In fact, a few weeks ago he drove down the Knox Street to see if he's still there, and I couldn't quite remember the house, but there was this house with broken tennis poles and this big, Land Cruiser sort of van parked outside.
Oh, he's still living there.
So I was almost tempted to go in. I must go in, same morning. But obviously we must be off his list these days.
Tests and pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
Yeah, well, apparently he's still doing missions.
Ah, yes.
He's getting interested in 1296.
Really? Ah.
So, yes.
He doesn't listen to these missions anymore. He has expressed on many occasions they're totally childish.
Well, they are.
That's
We
right.
know that, but that's beside the point.
That's right.
They're still fun.
Yes, they're out there for the listener.
But he'd be busy with roly-poly doing
Big, computer...
boredom missions.
Yes, that's right.
So, anyway, it's good to know that he's still with us.
If the knock is listening, we'll must get in touch with you someday. I suppose I can always just give him things on the phone or something. I should do that. A few people I must get in contact with over the next 20 years.
Hear that tram?
Yes. It's not as bad as the Huntley Road trams.
No.
Da-dunk, da-dunk, da-dunk.
But then again, there's not a 5 trillion dB of bad...
Bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu.
You hear those old missions? They're so bad.
Well, I think I'll get a job at certain missions. Bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu. I can't tell you now what it'll be. Bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu. As long as you kept talking, they sounded quite fine.
When you stopped, there's a million dB of...
Those terrible valve limbs, you just couldn't disable them. Taxi limbs.
And they had no... They were really slow to react.
That's
the
right.
first word was loud, then the rest was soft.
Yeah.
They were good for screaming into in a taxi. Because they probably won't be able to do that for much longer.
Why's that?
Because it might be like Sydney. You'll get one side of it, you'll get the
Yes.
bass side, but they don't reply with a microphone, they just press a button. And
There's some of that now,
Is
actually.
there really?
If you listen to the input channel, most of it just bleeps. They obviously respond with a number. But I like listening to the old low band VHF where you hear both sides. It's quite hilarious. You hear them, they're screaming and yelling at each other, and I must chord some before they totally depart.
Yeah.
Of course, there's one of those, the base stations just down here in Grunge Road. That big tower near the Food Minus.
Really?
Yeah,
Ah.
that's a VHF AM one. There's someone behind you. I wonder who it isn't.
Alright, we'll just stand on by him.
Hello.
No.
Who is that? Oh, it's Mr. Soak.
And how are you?
I'm very well, Lionel, and yourself?
Good heavens, actually a live crossband.
It is. No, we've just got very sophisticated missions now, that's all.
What's happening? I'm listening to you on 6, I'm getting a lot of static crashes like. And how's the back thing? Well, hello there, Lionel. Yes. Yes, we'll have to give missions predictions. I'm sure the management would approve of that. Actually, I was just trying to find a receiver so I could listen to the other network. Hello. Must have gone for a walk. I was going to listen to the other network to hear the thing coming back.
Yeah, I'm here again now. Yeah.
Have you got that still patched up?
I think so, yeah, it
Oh,
is.
good.
Yeah.
I'll have a listen in a moment. I just have to...
Have Bill listens.
we're not very well set up here with PowerPoints and things yet.
No, better. Yes.
Haven't got round to it. Yes. So, look, I'll let you and Lionel talk for a minute or two.
Okay, and you can do listens.
And I'll do listens.
Okay.
So, back to Lionel, yes. Well, sort of slight lack of
Oops.
thought about how to set things up, that was all. So, yes, it was a bit of a joke at the start, but still. Yeah, anyway, that was a long time ago now, it's a year ago, so...
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing how quick time goes.
We don't even